Well, let's cross to our US correspondent, Mark Stone, who joins us now live. And Mark, it was expected that he was going to announce that he would run again, but this is a man who will be 86 by the end of his second term. It's quite an undertaking.
It is, and I think that is the key concern. I mean, clearly his age is an attack point for Republicans who think he's useless. For Democrats, they recognise, many Democrats recognise that he has been a successful, as they see it, first-term president. He has steadied the ship after very turbulent years, as they would see it, under Donald Trump. Legislatively, domestically, he has done extremely well, better than any president for many, many years. The economy is in good shape, but then there are fundamental key concerns as well, like abortion access, like guns, like the economy and the direction it could go in, inflation. And then overriding all of that, for Democrats too, is his age. 82 he would be at the time of re-election, and nearer 90 at the end of his second term if he were to win. Now, I've observed him. We've been watching his speeches that he's given recently, compared them with speeches he's given just a few years ago. He is older. There's no denying that. He is less fluent. He is a little less able physically. I mean, that's only natural. But he clearly believes that doesn't matter. He believes he has the ability to be able to run this country, to delegate where he needs to, and that he is, I guess, almost the father figure of the country. And I think that's what this video is intending to do. There's so much repeated in this video from the one which he released precisely 4 years ago today, when he first told Americans that he wanted to be their president. He's using some of the same language. He's talking about a battle for the soul of the nation. He's repeatedly referencing, if not by name, Donald Trump, the man who, believe it or not, and many people around the world might find it a surprise to think that Donald Trump could be a candidate again. Believe me, he probably will be the Republican candidate. And so what Joe Biden is doing is pitting himself against Donald Trump, just as he did 4 years ago. And why does he believe he is the man to run the country for another 4 years? Well, because he knows that he beat Donald Trump last time, and he therefore thinks that he can do it again. The tweet from Joe Biden, which was released just 8 minutes ago. I have to say it's very early here in Washington, D.C. We expected it might happen a little later today, but they've got in there for the morning shows right at the start of this Tuesday morning. He said every generation has a moment where they have to stand up for democracy, to stand up for their fundamental freedoms. I believe this is ours. That's why I'm running for re-election as President of the United States. Join us. Let us finish the job. That, I think, will be his slogan over the course of the next 18 months or so. Finish the job. He believes, his supporters believe, they've done a lot over the past 4 years. Who wants to be a one-term president? Not Joe Biden. He reckons he can do it again. But the polling, Jane, is not good. A weekend poll from NBC News, our colleagues at NBC, suggested that just 1 in 4 Americans would like Joe Biden to run again. Just 1 in 4. 70% of Americans polled do not want Joe Biden to run again. That, of course, includes Democrats, many of whom voted for him last time. They reckon someone else should take over. The problem is that there is no one else there. There are a few of the candidates from last time around, like Kamala Harris, have been strategically wrapped into Team Biden and haven't, in fact, shone all that much. So there aren't any obvious candidates. There are a few post-Biden candidates, people like Gavin Newsom from California, the governor there, who'd like to run if Biden stands aside. But no one is prepared to stand in Biden's way. At the moment, 2024 looks like a repeat of 2020, Trump versus Biden.
And Mark, you mentioned Kamala Harris there. Of course, she's referenced in that video. Likely that she would stand for vice president?
No, that's interesting. I mean, I just heard the video on my ear. I didn't see it. Yes, I mean, if she is, and I'm just looking down here, it does look like there she is. I mean, that's another big question. Who would he choose to be his running mate? She is an obvious answer, potentially. But there have been rumours over the course of the past 4 years at times that they haven't necessarily seen eye to eye. She has not shone in a way that many expected that she might. She has been a disappointment for many Democrats. But clearly he believes, certainly if she's in the video, he believes that maybe it is a Biden-Harris ticket for 2024 as well. We'll see.
And Mark, just looking at the tone of that video as well, you talked about the age and the fact that he is a very different man to the man who even stood just sort of 4-6 years ago. This difference in style, very quietly spoken. Do you think, is that deliberate in the sense that if it is Trump who does run against him, it's almost highlighting this difference in style from the very, very beginning?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Trump is still there. Trump is still loud. He's brash. And this, I mean, Joe Biden is a softly spoken person anyway, and he is that much older, and therefore, naturally, he might be a little bit softer still. And they're using that to his advantage. They are saying that he is the calm, steady hand that needs to continue to be on the tiller to run America for another 4 years because Donald Trump is there in the wings and owns the Republican Party. Make no mistake, despite the insurrection, January the 6th, featured, of course, prominently in this video, despite the fact that he is now the first ever indicted president, Donald Trump still commands the Republican Party. He is very likely to be their nomination, their candidate. There are others, Ron DeSantis, and others as well. But at the moment, it looks like that it will be Donald Trump, that loud, brash, love him or hate him candidate. And so on the other side, in this very highly produced video, which is framing it a choice as one of personal liberty, that is what Team Biden is going for. But as I say, Jane, overriding all of that is a simple concern that many people have. Is he too old?
And the 70% polling that suggests that 70% of Americans don't want him to run again, obviously including Democrats, as you say. He is running again, he says. If he gets the Democratic nomination, as is likely, will that change? Will Democrats get behind him?
Well, exactly, because the second question after that is, OK, he is running again, whether you like it or not. So your choice is Biden or Trump. Well, obviously, many of those people polled who said they didn't want Biden to run will vote for him in the end because they absolutely do not want Trump to run, to win. And that, I think, is the calculus within Team Biden. As I said, they know that, yes, his age is a fact, but so too is the fact that he beat Trump last time around, although Trump continues to claim without any evidence that he actually won the last election. Biden beat Trump last time around, and that's his big plus. He believes he did it once, he could do it again. The other calculus that I think they're making within the Biden White House is it cannot be the case, so they will argue, that Donald Trump is more popular now, given what we now know about him, whether it be the documents he hid, the insurrection, the indictment. Trump can't be more popular now than he was 4 years ago, and he lost 4 years ago. Therefore, Biden surely is in a great position to win this time around. Well, I mean, yes, that might seem logical, but nothing is predictable in American politics. So it's a risky logic with a very elderly man.